Hello, welcome to my first Paralives speed build. If you want to learn how to build something like this for yourself, keep watching because I will be talking you through the process and also talking about the build tools in the game. So the very first thing I did when I started building this was to flatten the entire plot because it's on sort of like a slope there, as you can see, and then also there are some bumps here and there. And I love that about this game because they give you this plot and it is like kind of blended into the surroundings, but it definitely makes building sometimes a little bit tricky, especially when you're starting out. This is only like the second build I've made in this game. So just to make it a little bit easier for myself, I decided to flatten the plot as much as I could. But honestly, I had to do it a few times because I noticed that the grass was kind of clipping inside in some spots and there were some lumps and bumps here and there. So I ended up in the end just going and smoothing things and flattening things properly and then fixing everything that moved accidentally during that process. But yeah, that's my first tip, I would say. If you are starting with a plot that is not flat, you should probably flatten it. It will make your life much easier, and it's much easier to then kind of do the terraforming after you have placed the actual foundation of the home. So my plan for this build was to build something that is kind of cottagey, fits at the countryside of the map because this is located near the wheat fields. So I wanted to make a red brick home and then add like a bunch of white and green accents. As you can see, the color of the door, for example, that green is what I was going for. And then I end up making these red borders of those windows white. And I just wanted to really build on a small lot that is very restricting in terms of the space you have to work with, because I feel like if you start from a bigger plot when you're just starting to learn the build tools and stuff, it can get pretty overwhelming. So this was the perfect plot size, in my opinion, for a little cottage like this. And I adore how it turned out. I actually am very, very happy with it. And of course, I'll be talking about the build tools in this game. That was like a big selling point for me, obviously, and I have been waiting for this game for so long. I still remember when it got announced that they're developing it. I still remember some of the very first clips that they shared about the building tools, for example, resizing windows and stuff. Incredible, mind-blowing, just craziness. And to quote Squirrely Dan from Letterkenny, what I really appreciate about the build mode is that you feel so free to do whatever you want with the items that you have. You can rotate them in any way you want. You can color them however you want. You just have so much power to do whatever you want with this build mode. It's not punishing, in my opinion, which is like the biggest thing about it. It's making me feel inspired to build. If anything, it's making me feel overwhelmed with the amount of options that I have. And I feel like just making a build like I would make in Sims is not enough in this game. You have so many options to make something much more custom. And this is something I'm more used to from World of Warcraft housing, where you make more custom builds yourself, like you make custom furniture with combining different objects together. In World of Warcraft, then we have a dye system, so you're not very free to sort of use the colors that you necessarily want or need in that mode. And also not every single item can be dyed. So in this game, there's so many options. You can customize anything and everything, and it's just so much fun. So you might have noticed that I've been making these invisible walls sort of to determine where that flooring will stay, and that is like the kitchen area. I end up taking this flooring away, so it doesn't matter as much then, but just having the option to kind of specify and divide areas with this invisible wall thing, it's just to specify that this is a separate area and that will have a different flooring and it won't be changed with the rest of it. So I think that's just really amazing. And also the amount of options you have for kitchen cabinets, like you have so many different looking drawers and like everything matches. You have the top drawer and or like the top cabinets and the bottom ones, and also then you have this fireplace. Like, what is that? It's horrifying. I hated it. I'm so concerned, and I was not expecting that. There's some really interesting objects in this game, and they just keep creeping me out when I'm building. Anyway, I was talking about the cabinets. So in Sims, for example, we were lucky if we got a matching top and a bottom cabinet for the kitchen or counters. So the fact that you can change the handles to whatever you want, the colors, like all of the different parts of the cabinets, you can change how many drawers you want on it, if you want doors on it, if you want drawers and doors, I don't know, just all of it. And then you do have those matching top cabinets as well, which is mind-blowing to me. There are a few items that you cannot change the color of, and for example the fridge, you can change the color of the fridge, but you can't change the color of the handles. I couldn't at least find an option. Maybe they'll add that option at some point, but for now the fridge will have silver handles and the rest of the kitchen will have golden, but it's okay. So this is actually my second build that I have made in this game, and my first one was kind of like with limited funds because it was in my gameplay save, and this one is more so just I kind of let myself do whatever I wanted with a bunch of money, and then I ended up being around the 30k area, I think. I just think that you can do so much more with the money that you have and you're given at the start of when you're just creating a new para, for example. So I was actually making this build with fairly decent appliances as well, and the money lasted me for ages. Like I was able to fully decorate the home to feel like it's lived in. You don't have to start out with the worst appliances. You have a decent stove and fridge. I can't remember if they are the best ones you can buy or if they're kind of like in the middle range. I'm not sure, but they definitely are not the worst, and I was very happy with that because I could still afford to decorate the place afterwards. Also, did you notice the name of the oven and the fridge? Like the oven is called Ovin and then the fridge is called Fridg. I don't know. Like that's what I'm thinking when I see those. It's so cute. I love those, and I just love how they look as well. But yeah, I was super happy to be able to give this home like the feeling that it's lived in and it has a soul, because whenever I would make starter homes in Sims, quite often I would just get down all of the appliances, all the necessities your sim will need, and then you're out of money already. And for me, I have said this many times in my videos, especially in WoW housing, it's like storytelling is such an important part of building for me, and if I make a para who is a bookworm, for example, I of course want to represent that somehow in their home, so I feel at home playing them, and that kind of matches what I'm imagining for them in their life. So basically I can just say like it creates immersion, and I feel like whenever I would build starter homes in Sims, for example, it was really difficult because I feel like all of the extra decorations that you would need would cost so much, because if you wanted any appliances or anything to help you out with your career to actually make money, you're not really able to get those very easily, and then you can't decorate the surroundings to look very nice. So I actually very rarely ended up making starter homes because of that reason. Also, I'm a huge fan of Rags to Riches challenges. I used to do those all the time. I love that. Also because it allows me to make the space look like my character right from the very beginning, rather than moving into this like soulless, empty shell of a home. If that makes sense? I don't know. But I think I'm going to be definitely trying out a Rags to Riches challenge at some point in Paralives as well. I would really love to post some gameplay on YouTube as well. And yeah, I'm just like kind of brainstorming right now. I think it will definitely be a Rags to Riches situation where we start out with absolutely nothing and see how we can survive. And honestly, it would be so much fun to keep a legacy challenge of some sort going on this channel as well. I would really love to post gameplay and share that with you guys. So if you are interested in that, and well, that will definitely involve some chaos. I usually say that I'm here for the cozy and the calm. Like, that's what I want to provide. But I think if I'm going to be making a let's play, let's be realistic, I'm going to end up being a chaos goblin, because that's who I am deep down inside. And honestly, I just really want to like experiment with all of the new things in this game. Like, I haven't seen any of the deaths yet, for example. I haven't seen like much about the careers. Honestly, I haven't played that much. I haven't seen, like, I haven't had a pregnant para yet. Sorry, that's so stupid. I haven't like experienced like any of that stuff. What I have done so far is make myself. I made a home, I got a job, then I made my boyfriend, then I wooed him, so then we moved in together. Now he's my boyfriend in game as well. That's pretty much it. Like, I don't have any experience with anything else really. I haven't been playing that much of the actual gameplay. I have spent most of my time building in this game, which yeah, is normal for me, but also I do really want to try out the gameplay and make a let's play. So yeah, prepare yourself. If you're into that, then follow along, because yeah, it's gonna happen and it's probably gonna be really weird, but I mean, that's kind of what it's for, I suppose. And of course, while I've been yapping, we have made some significant progress on the build, and here I am working on the bedroom currently, and as you can see, I do have a color theme going on. I'm obsessed with yellow and green currently. I love also orange. I don't know what it is, but like these brown, like earthy tones, I am just really loving those currently. And that was like kind of what I was thinking now as well, is like, you don't get really bored of the same wallpapers. Like, there's not like a crazy amount of wallpapers. There's a lot, considering that this is in early access and stuff, but it's gonna take much longer to get bored of them because you can change the colors yourself freely. So I just think that that's so amazing, and you won't get stuck kind of working with just those 3 different wallpapers that you love just because those swatches are what you like in your build. So I don't know, just having the option to change the color on the wallpapers is insane and just opens up so many different possibilities. And there you can see how the grass from outside is clipping in because the ground level is higher in outside. So I end up actually flattening it more, and then that will be gone. I don't know about you guys, but I love furnishing bedrooms, and in this one I just wanted to kind of have some sort of personality to it. Like, it has that little book nook and stuff, but nothing too much. I end up putting some decorations on the shelves, of course, but I just feel like I wanted to leave some of the walls emptier so you can add your own photos, because in this game you can obviously add your own photos from your own like files into the game. So it's super easy to do, and it just makes it possible for you to like add your own photos of your like pet or anything like that, your own drawings, your own art. That's just so incredible to me. So I wanted to leave that as an option. I have some empty wall space in this build just to be able to add more to it later on. Another thing that I really love about this game and the build mode is all of the clutter and items that you have. Like, it feels like they genuinely are in tune with who their player base is going to be and is. Like, there being, for example, dice bags, like for example, like for D&D, like D20s and stuff. Oh my god, like when I saw that, I wanted to scream from happiness. I was truly so excited to see that. And there were fidget toys. They have a bunch of items for like health, for example. There's like band-aids, menstrual pads, there's tampons, there's like all of these things that I have always been wanting to add to my builds just for realism, and they've just never existed in any of the things that I'm playing. And I just find it so amazing that they have so many options straight from the beginning, because like, to me it's just so special that they are giving representation for people with disabilities, for example, people with autism or ADHD, for example. Just having things like headphones there was really nice to see, because like often people like me who are very sensitive to noises, they might go outside wearing headphones, and inside I don't often wear those, but outside when I'm, for example, going shopping or just outside walking, I will wear headphones without listening to anything, just having like the noise dampened. So it's just really nice to see there being like all of these different items like hearing aids, and there was a wheelchair even, just everything. Like, the representation is amazing in this game, and I think that's so valuable. It just really makes me really happy to feel like these items are not something that's being kept away from these games. They are represented and they are a part of people's lives, obviously. Like, there is a ring box, for example, a moment ago, and there's a ring inside, you can really go deep with your storytelling with these items. Like, there are so many variations of items. There's so many shoes, there's even hats, there's these suitcases, just so many things. And you can get really, really creative with these items. And of course, you have the Steam Workshop option as well. Mods are really, really like accessible to people now because they're all in the same place. So that's something I really enjoy. It's just super nice to see that there are so many options for you as a player to make the game look like it's yours. You know, like you're playing the game and it looks like how life looks like for you. If that makes sense, I don't know. Here you can see me fixing the issue with the grass clipping to the inside. There's still some spots that are a little bit, well, maybe clipping, but it's okay. I'm fine with it personally. I have a lot of furniture covering those spots as well, but I try to do my best with the tools and I'm not entirely familiar with them yet, so I still need to learn a little bit. But overall, I would say that the build tools are fairly easy to work with, and you can get very, very creative, and you can use them in a very advanced way as well to make a bunch of custom things. I haven't tried that too much yet myself, but I will definitely try and make some custom shelves, for example, and yeah, just to make something more special. And here we are doing my favorite part of the build, which usually is very much not my favorite part, and that's cluttering the kitchen. So I normally don't like building kitchens in my builds, especially in World of Warcraft housing. I find that really annoying. I don't do a good job at it. I don't think we have a whole lot of items that will make, like, you have to get really, really, really creative and do things custom completely. So I don't really like doing that in WoW. In this game though, it's my favorite part. I always look forward to making the kitchen, and I look forward to putting in decorations and all of the different clutter. And I just really love that there are variations to items. Like, for most items, there's always a variation that's more modern or more minimalistic looking, and then there are more decorative things as well. So you really can like choose what you like, and there will always usually be an option to like work with that will work with your build. And of course, being able to change the colors and sometimes the text, like the texture of the item, even like to textile or like metal or plastics. It's just really nice, and it's obviously it makes it so easy to build with these items. There's always something you can use, and you're not so restricted with this one style of item, because in Sims, for example, quite often I would feel very restricted to use just items from one pack because they all match together. They have matching swatches, and then if you try to mix and match those items, it sort of looks like you're using items from, like, if you buy items from IKEA from different like furniture lines, you know how they have those names, like for example like Kallax, like there's all of those Kallax items, they all look the same, they all work together. But then if you start like using items from different like furniture lines in IKEA, some of them obviously then look a little bit off. And I feel like in this game you have like the items are so perfect to mix and match, rather than them being like restricted by the color swatches, for example, or just like the height of the items. Like having a table that's, for example, a little bit like it is shaped in a specific way in Sims, it's really difficult to match that with some chairs that are completely different, like from a different pack. Does that make any sense? I'm not sure if it makes any sense, but yeah, overall, I would say that the build mode in this game is incredible. It is so worth it. This game is so worth the price. It will not have any paid DLC. All of the updates will be for free, so you pay for the original price of the game, and then you don't have to pay for any DLC. Anyway, right now we are working on the patio part of the build. I just wanted to add a little table with chairs and this umbrella. And then there is of course a grill. I will be adding some landscaping soon as well, and this area becomes fairly cozy in my opinion. I just really, really like how it turns out. And as if I hadn't been yapping enough, I also have another thing I want to yap about, which is not actually this game. It's about Planet Zoo 2. And I don't know if there's any Planet Zoo enjoyers out there or Planet Coaster enjoyers out there, but I am a huge Planet Zoo fan. And I had a phase when I was playing it a lot, and I just watched a bunch of videos about it. And they actually released a trailer for Planet Zoo 2, and it looks incredible. And I'm so excited to play it in October. I most definitely will be playing it here on YouTube as well to try it out and see if it's fun. And of course, it has the most amazing building systems as well, and I hope that they are fairly accessible. I know that they said something about them being maybe more accessible than in Planet Zoo 1, and I definitely struggled building in that game. I did not master the tools whatsoever when I was building and playing the game, but I definitely put a lot of hours into that game, and I'm very excited to give the second game also a try. And yeah, just the graphics looked incredible. There is a bunch of new things that we get also in the game, and I was just really excited. So I'm very curious if there are any Planet Zoo enjoyers out there who are very excited about this announcement and the trailer. Especially, I was watching one of my favorite creators make point out all of the new things in the trailer, and it was like 1.5 hours long, the video. Her name is the Lady Singer. If you want to check her out, she's amazing, and her zoo builds are just incredible. I love watching her videos. Did you see that, by the way? Did you see that rock? That was horrible. If you go back, you need to go back to see it, because that was a jump scare. But yeah, anyway, Planet Zoo 2, very excited about it. Can't wait to try it out. It's coming out in October, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing some gameplay footage of it. I think there's going to be some showcase of it during the summer, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But to go back to the build, we are almost done with the landscaping. I really wanted this to look very cottagey, like it's at the countryside, and it just looks kind of overgrown, but it's like wildflowers. I don't know, I just think it looks really cozy and pretty, and honestly I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, considering it's only my second build in this game ever. And next I'll show you the whole build in a little walkthrough. So here is the finished build. I really love how it turned out. I think it fits this countryside area really well, and it has this cute cottagey vibe to it. I really wanted to have a red brick home and have a bunch of white and green accents to it, and have the yard be sort of this it kind of looks overgrown, but there's a bunch of wildflowers and stuff. And of course, behind here there's the patio. I really love how this looks. It's very cozy. It's also kind of ready for more items. You can add more to it. It's not too cluttered inside either. You can add more to this build, of course, and use the space that's available to, make it yours. And then of course here's the mailbox. I love this arch. I really like this style of home. And then here is the view from above. So we have the bedroom, we have the little bathroom, and then here is the kitchen / living area, and then the entrance. So at the entrance we have of course the shoes, the mirror, a bunch of storage stuff, and then I just left some stuff empty, so you can also add your own little trinkets everywhere if you want to play in this build. And I thought that it was really nice to have this be fully furnished in the way that it doesn't look empty and soulless in a way, but it still has places for you to add your own items and make it yours. So I really like how it turned out. I love the kitchen. It looks really cute. And then here some more decorations, plants. The bathroom is very empty, and it has a bunch of space if you would like to add things to the walls and stuff. But I thought that this is pretty good for me, at least, to play in this. I will probably end up adding some sort of like a cabinet here, maybe I would put, or shelves or something for you to store like toilet paper or toiletries of some sort. And yeah, maybe make like a wall here of some sort to block all of the splatters from the shower. But I thought that in some places the bathrooms are like this, so I just left it like this. Then of course we have the bedroom. So here we have the double bed, and then some decorations up here, books, and then here's a little book nook as well. You can see a para through the wall here. I think she's outside. Yeah. I think that para is like outside, but you can see her through the wall. That's very creepy. I do not like that. Anyway, I really love this little nook here. It's really cozy and cute. Of course, my slippers. I have these in real life and I use them all the time. I love them. And so does my golden retriever. He just carries them all the time. So that's the finished build now. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and if you would like to download it, it's on the Steam workshop. I will be adding it right after I've posted this video. I will add the link to the description, of course. So as always, I'm very thankful for you all listening to my yapping and watching me build these things. Usually I post World of Warcraft content, I know, but I'm loving Paralives and I do love my building games, so I will be continuing to make these, and of course the gameplay videos as well. So if you're a fan of Paralives and want to see more content like this or World of Warcraft housing, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy building!